What's up guys, Chigs here from Chigs Tech Reviews. So today I bring you another camera comparison test between the Zenfone 6 versus the new LENOVO Z6 Pro. Now to even the playing field, we are shooting 1080p at 30 frames per second from both front-facing cameras. Now the Zenfone 6 does do up to 4K at 60 frames per second, and the maximum you're going to get with the Lenovo is 1080p at 30 frames per second. And this is what the quality looks like. I really want to go outside, but it's raining, so I'm not going to just step out yet. I'm going to let the rain die down, and this is the only day I got free to do this camera test. So we're going to make it happen somehow. We're going to do it without damaging the phones, because both of these phones do not have an IP rating. Okay, so finally made it outside. It has not stopped raining, but I found some shelter. Okay, so finally made it outside. It has not stopped raining, but I found some shelter. So we're going to continue this project like this, walk up and down this stretch with some shelter so I don't get wet. Now we are shooting front-facing camera, full HD video. So we're just testing out the image stabilization on both devices. I think we already know the Zenfone image stabilization is absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping Lenovo is as good. And to make it a fair test, I've set the Zenfone 6 also on 1080p at 30 frames per second. The weather is dull, it's raining, cloudy, windy, so we're going to get to see what the wind noise is going to be like. And I will be interchanging the audio between both devices so you can compare the audio, and do let me know which one you think is better, audio and video wise. So we are now shooting 4K at 30 frames per second with the rear facing cameras. I've got both phones mounted on a selfie stick, so we're not using a gimbal, and we get to test out the image stabilization, which one is better. Bit of a situation today, it's raining all day. I've had 4 days of constant rain, and in this rain I've shot 3 or 4 camera videos, so it's been a bit of a nightmare, so it is what it is. 4K at 30 frames per second with image stabilization on both cameras. Which one do you think is the most stable? So I've now switched to 1080p at 30 frames per second on both cameras, and this is what the quality looks like. So another 4K test. This time we've got 4K 60 frames on the Zenfone 6 and 4K at 30 frames on the Lenovo. Now the reason why I'm doing this test is we've done a third firmware update on the Zenfone 6, and I'm just making sure that the video quality and image stabilization is still working the same. So onto the photos. Both smartphones have a 48 megapixel primary sensor. Zenfone has the Sony IMX586, and the Lenovo uses a totally different sensor, which is in fact the Samsung S5K GM1. Both cameras produce great quality 48 megapixel shots, and it's quite subjective as to which one produces the better result. In some shots you will notice the Lenovo has taken the edge, and in others the Zenfone. So do let me know what you guys think. Which 48 megapixel shooter do you prefer and why? So there you have it guys, that was my quick camera comparison between the Zenfone 6 and the Lenovo Z6 Pro. Now both of these are flagship smartphones powered by the Snapdragon 855 chipset and offer quite a powerful all-round snappy performance. And to sum it up, the Zenfone has a more advanced camera which is capable of shooting 4K at 60 frames per second with great image stabilization. But I was also impressed with the 4K video recording at 30 frames per second on the Lenovo device. The video quality, colors and details actually looked slightly better than the Zenfone, but unfortunately I could not find any option at all to switch on the image stabilization. Now that resulted in very shaky video on all resolutions on the Lenovo device. So Lenovo has the potential to take better looking 4K video, but you would need a gimbal or a firmware update to get that stabilization active. So I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. See you in the next one guys.